Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a week overview, weekly, not as in week, as in not strong, a weekly overview for June 6th through the 12th. So we have 6/6 through 6/12, and I feel like that doubling is important. Right, 6, 12, 18. Ow. Hopefully you can hear me alright over my necessary fan going, because I need to be able to not be sweating on the cards while I'm doing this. What are we doing? Just going to go over the energies that are present astrologically this week. I've got my notes here. I believe it's in Pisces, although my notes are kind of scrambled, so now I'm feeling insecure about it. But Mercury is retrograde during this week, and Venus is in Cancer, and Mars is in Cancer, so we got the masculine and the feminine energies partying in their emotions. We have Jupiter in Pisces, not retrograde yet, but a little bit of pre-shadow perhaps. We have Neptune in Pisces, again, not retrograde yet, but possibly pre-shadow. Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. North Node retrograde in Gemini. And the South Node in Sagittarius. And then we have Uranus in Taurus. And during this week, the Sun is in Gemini as well. And we have Lilith in Taurus and Chiron in Aries, and I'm still kind of learning what those two are about, but I'm just trying to give that information so I can start remembering that it's important somehow. So the way that this spread works, now that I'm into it, I have a pile for each day. There's timestamps for each day, so even though this is a weekly reading and often there's a thread that runs through it, you can still do a card of the day by clicking on the timestamp for each day. And typically each pile will have one card from each of 3 decks, so there should be 3 cards in each pile, although this pile has significantly more cards because I had a triple, and normally I don't take triples, but I have a couple times recently, and then I have a double as well, and there was a double back here also. So the decks that I'm using the Uno deck, so this comes in like a minor arcana. I'm using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits, and I'm using my double deck of double deck of Work Your Light Oracle and Starseed Oracle. It's a big, honkin', massive, chonk deck. So we got some cards from each of those decks sitting out here in this ensemble. What am I doing? We're going to do Sunday first. So I'm going to get some of these out of the way just a little bit. But I got it focused to around here. Just knocked over the moon. Ooh, spicy. Okay. So we have Sunday. We have the 6th. Interestingly, from what I learned from my Lenormand deck book, is that 6 is a solar number. In general, not like specifically to tarot, but so we have the number 6. We have the sun. We have masculine energy, Leo, essence. 6 can be the number of the lovers. It could also be the 6 of Wands, which is Leo energy, Jupiter in Leo. So we'll see what else comes out. So I've got 2 of these Starseed Oracle cards, and I'm just saying, I'm enunciating that because I'm reminding myself that I also have the Syrian Starseed Tarot, and these are not the same thing. So this Starseed Oracle, there we go. So we have inverted Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So we have a whale here, We have a doorway, we have an orca and some dolphins hanging out in the background, and that looks like a beluga maybe. The humpback whale. Which looks like it has a calf with it as well. Oh, and there's a pyramid here. So I just watched Star Trek 4 because I was on the free YouTube movies. Are those manatees? No, but there's maybe belugas up here too. I just watched Star Trek 4, and that's the one where they go back in time and get the whales. So this is coming in inverted, which means there's, for me, usually with these cards, these oracle cards that don't really have reversals, it's like delay or confusion. So whale and orca elders, so we have watery ancestors tied to, I mean, water is emotion, it's resonance, it's frequency. So we're dealing with an ancient emotional resonance, like a heart-centered resonance to universal wavelengths, like cosmic background. And they want you to express your deepest heart truth. They want you to become one with sound healing technology, and maybe not like you're gonna go out there and be like an industry mogul in sound tech, but they want it like when you sing what you feel, it creates a resonance in your body that creates healing. So we also have diving deep, which means getting into the core of your body, really bursting out that that deep cut there. So let's see what this is. I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. Okay. I have not gotten this card yet. And I'm not using books today, so I'm going to really think about this for a minute. Okay, so we have two people here that are separated. We have these broken roots coming in, and we have them facing each other underground. It's sort of like in my memory, I keep going over and over again what I went through with this person, and I feel like we'll never be together again, right? Uprooted. It's like I had to go somewhere else. I'm separated. There's an aspect of, like, having been uprooted in the past means that there was a loss of grounding. Now, this deep water thing, it's like maybe these roots are broken and dried out. We need to pot them in new soil, right? I need to go ground, and then I need to have an emotional healing, and one way to do that is to have that sound vibration, right? This is talking about something that's going on in the cells of the body. I feel separate. I feel ill. And when you have this sound coming out of you, it's going to vibrate your whole body, and it's going to, what it does is it changes the frequency in your cells. It can help get rid of traumatic memories. And your cells are mostly made up of water, and I think that's why we're coming in with these whales. So we have a triple here, so let's get this triple. Okay, so we have, let me think about this so I say these right. The Page of Wands, there we go, which I've assigned Uranus energy. Traditionally summer and Earth of Fire energy. We have the Eight of Pentacles inverted. Eight of Pentacles. So the Sun in Virgo inverted. And I think this is coming in because Virgo energy can be an inner child. It could be this sort of past energy, past life, possibly earlier traumas in your life. And it could be there's a maturity, a maturation coming. But it also could be something's not working, but we'll see where that goes. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. I feel left out. butthurt, the butthurt card. So this is traditionally Mercury in Taurus, but I've reassigned it Uranus energy. Okay, so these two. Now this is in Taurus, but it's giving me Saturn retrograde energy. But Saturn is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, so that should follow. So we have Saturn retrograde energy. This Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is like, I want to put my own flag down in my core. I want to have confidence, but I feel like I'm broken and that I'm always going to be getting the short end of the stick. I do see 8 and 5 here as being 13, a transition, transformation. Possibly. But these cards are sort of at odds with each other. This is a 1 or an 11, which is a universal timing. If I combine these, if I take this as a 1, I could have balance. 11 and 5 is 16, that's a tower moment. 8 is half of that. So there is this like internal breakdown in order to hopefully have a transition and saying, I'm putting we're breaking new ground here. I'm cutting the ribbon on my, on this ceremony I'm doing to rejuvenate myself. Right? I'm cutting into the soil here to replant, to reground myself, so that I can be stable in order to to go out and interact with other people, whether that's relationship oriented or not. So we have dragon. This comes in with this fire elemental energy. It's also this idea that dinosaurs have been around for a long time. There's this aspect of evolution. A dragon is kind of like the midpoint between a ground dwelling dinosaur, thinking like more like a carnivore, like T-Rex is the obvious one, but you have like Deinonychus and Velociraptor and Carnotaurus. Who else is chompy? I don't know, there's some other guys over there too, but so you think of those like and then the dragon, you think of somebody who's flying, so you're getting a little bit of like Rhamphorhynchus, Quetzalcoatlus, but then you're thinking of birds, right? Because dragons like flappy. So you might think of like a condor or an eagle or something like that. You might be getting like ostrich energy. There's this thing that there's an evolution in progress. We have some kind of animal that is not one or the other, and it also has this magical, mystical quality, because it's not something that really exists in our world in the physical. We have all these pentacles here. We have the number 6, which is what we started with. We also have this spirit element. So we're dealing with something in the spiritual realm. We're dealing with the chakras, and I don't remember which one this is supposed to be from this book. But because dragon is a fire elemental, it's giving me, again, this essence of the solar chakra. But the pathway to there is through the heart center, the emotions. Why aren't we able to get into the solar center for this like confidence to be who we are and to stand on our own 2 feet and feel connected? The uprooting has gone from the feet, like where the roots are, like the base chakra, like ripped out. You know, we started pulling the root up at the root chakra, and we pulled it, and it was this long root that got twisted around everything. It pulled it through the sacral chakra kept pulling it up all the way through the solar chakra, right? So you have this like 4-foot long root, tree root in your hand that you're just trying to yank up out of there, or just in general by the world. And in order to put it down, you have to sort of say, okay, well, we need to pull it, we need to put it back in the ground from this heart center downwards, right? The way to get into a busted open solar chakra is to come in from the top, right? We need to, I was just sort of like, we need to bury the hatchet. But again, there's this idea of, I need to get down here. The dragon is also, it also can take on a negative connotation of be like, I'm fighting my demons. But I don't think that's the case here. I think it's like an aspect of self that's sort of ancient and like wild, that can be threatening because it's so enormous, but it has the ability to create this like great internal fire. It's like the highest version of yourself that only powers the element of fire within you. It would say, like, I exist, I'm only a single dragon scale, but I need the entire dragon to be able to take a stand to heal myself in order to tell the water where to go. This is like making the irrigation ditch in your own, like, inside your energy system. Hopefully that makes sense, because these readings for each day are not supposed to be that massive, but I had a lot of cards there. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's basically, it's sort of a background information of saying that the chakras are dried out and not being nurtured. And in order to do that, the best thing is to start vibrating your whole body with this sound healing essence. All right? If you don't want anyone to hear you, go in your car, go in your shower, put a pillow over your head, go in the closet, get some music on your phone or headphones, whatever thing you got, and create the sound from within you so it vibrates. Or what you can do is go to live music if that's available to you in a safe way, or get a big honking speaker, like a giant, not necessarily loudness, but the size of the woofer itself, and you want to lie or sit or stand in front of the speaker where the sound bubble will go through you. Okay, so we're going to look at Monday, the 7th. So, the number 7 is the number of the chariot, which is ruled by the moon. And this seems rather auspicious at this time. So we have the Queen of Cups upright. Queen of Cups. So she's a 1 or a 13. And she is coming in with Gemini and Cancer energy. So the Queen of Cups here is kind of mirroring where the sun is during June, right? The sun is in Gemini, but it's going to be in Cancer later in the month. Might be a little preview, right? We're on the 7th, so we have 13 days left of the sun in Gemini, and then it's going to be in Cancer, because this is a 1 or 13. We have a deer. This is giving, it's green here, so it could be heart energy, but it's giving very pentacle energy, particularly because in the matching tarot deck, the deer are the court cards for pentacles. But see, somebody has been like ruminating, been thinking about something for a while. I have been traveling around. I've been just kind of making my living piece by piece here and there. I've been kind of thinking about stuff. You know, I feel like I got my feet on the ground. But there's something that's just kind of nagging at me, and it's following me around. I can't quite put my finger on it. Right? I'm having a hard time getting downloads. This is a female deer here, but you know, if there were antlers, it would be like I'm getting some downloads. But here it's like I'm trying to get into something, and I just can't quite. It's like nothing's really wrong, but I can't quite figure out something that's bothering me either. Alright, so we have Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down in time in nature. This is also like, I feel like I want to run away, but I don't know why. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So, before I was really flipping over this card, I was getting the idea of like a deer like running, like springing through the woods. But this is inverted. It's like a delay or confusion. This is like, there shouldn't be anything wrong here, but I'm freaking out. You know, like the Queen of Cups is like, I like nurturing. I'm getting those downloads. I'm in tune with my emotions. I'm getting a good feel of what's going on, and I'm sitting in a balanced place where I don't let my emotions get the best of me, and they just kind of wash through me, and I feel it, and I'm good, and I'm go on. But here it's just like something I can't quite place. Like, I feel like something's going to happen, but I don't know what. And there's a little bit of blue-green energy around the outside of this card that's bringing me into this Neptunian zone, right? The subconscious is sort of nagging. What's going on? I don't get it. I don't know what's up. But the moon energy, Monday, moon energy, we're 3 days before the new moon in Gemini. Right, this is like there's a blind spot in my mirror. I want to clarify this situation a little bit here. Let me get a couple more Uno cards. King of Cups. 5 of Sword in reverse. I don't know why I said that singularly. Maybe you're dealing with somebody whose language doesn't have S as a plural. 9 of Swords in a challenge position. Okay, so there's that Neptunian sense with the subconscious, because the 9 of Swords is the Nightmare card, but it's being turned on its side. The King can be a 1 or a 14. There would be balance, right? The masculine and the feminine are both balanced and stable in their emotions, but there's this, again, with this possible fight or flight thing. The 5 of Swords is like, I gotta get the last word in. I'm gonna be the last man standing. You know, whatever it takes. Like, no one's gonna beat me. And I see the 9 and the 5 wanting to be 14 too, but this nightmare isn't quite over. This is like, I'm trying to relieve myself of always having to be on top of everything. I want to be equal with somebody. I don't want to be challenged by them, but there's just something, there's like mind games, right? There's something, like something's not stirring the Kool-Aid here. Like, what's up? What's going on? And it's coming in as this, it's like, it's not a nightmare, but there's something in my subconscious. Something in my dream, like my dreams are restless. I don't get it. So there's this slight feeling of not being grounded, right? I'm too much in my head. I can't quite connect my feet to the earth, even though I'm standing on solid ground. It's like being in the eye of the storm. It's like everything is still, but like there seems to be something going on. And much like the sixth, there's this idea that there needs to be grounding. But here, it's like things seem stable, but there's a mental struggle going on. And I still, like, I need a minute. I need to, for some reason, like, I still need to self-nurture because my mind is churning. But it's hard to wrap my head around self-care when I'm like, what the hell is wrong? Like, what's wrong with me? I don't get it. Like, so there's something coming towards the new moon, that there's some thought problem that's building. And there's a warning here that you still need more grounding, but that emotionally you can handle it. But that there's something that's not quite revealed yet. That once the mental... There's like a mental balance to be had, but it's sort of like not until the new moon portal. Because there's something moving in the underbrush. That's weird. These readings are kind of open-ended. There's like no solutions really. So we have the 8, infinity or strength number, possibly justice depending on the deck, with Martian energy. It's telling me sort of 8 of Wands, Mercury in Sagittarius. So we have these nodal energies from the north and south. Now sometimes I can see the 8 as a sphere cut in half where it's still attached on like a hinge. It's like something in the world opening up, cutting open this orange. 3 of Swords inverted. Okay. No, notice the 3 has that same figure 8 shape, but we're sort of starting to separate the halves a little bit. There isn't a complete feedback loop. So we have raccoon, also with a number 8. So we have an earth elemental here. I'm getting this sort of like masked ninja energy, like I'm Stripes. I feel like I'm in prison. It's giving me 8 of Swords energy, even though it's a Pentacles, like an earth elemental. Raccoons up in the trees, they're in a hidey hole. People assume that they have rabies, right? That they're not in their right mindset, that they're malicious. They're just sort of roly-poly. They really just want snacks, but they also tend to be very clean. They want to wash something before they bring it to them, right? They want to ingest energies that have a purity about them. So we have break the chain coming in inverted. So there's a confusion or a delay here. So I see a cave here, right? It makes me think of the raccoon living, like if this was a tree, the raccoon would be living in the hole. It says break the train, okay. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Okay. So there's a delay on breaking the chain, but it's like I'm in the dark here, but I want the energies that I'm bringing into myself to be clear. I want to break out of jail. I don't want to wear these stripes anymore. Right? It's like I don't want to be the black sheep of the family. But I'm managing to overcome some emotional trauma, but I'm still having trouble completely breaking away from stuff that feels like it's toxic and it keeps getting into my energy field. I'm hearing go to water. Go to water. So it might not even be necessarily be an emotional thing itself, but it could be someone who has a lot of water energy in their, like in your birth chart. Another thing is there's a lot of Pisces energy at play, which is deep water, emotional stuff. Three of Swords is the most emotional swords card. It's coming in inverted, right? An emotional healing. What do you want to do if you break a chain? Well, if it's rusty, it'll snap. Well, how do I get it rusty? I get it in water. I wash the chain until it disintegrates so that I can digest it in some way. It's like I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hands or something, or whatever that is. This is a weird way for healing of ancestral trauma to come in, but again, it's coming up. This card should be stable in this position, materially stable, emotionally, mentally. Something's still going on. Just like on the 7th, there was stuff going on. We have 3 days before the new... No, it's only 2 days. For some reason, I want to say it's 3 days before the new moon in Gemini, but it's not. It's only 2. 3 days until the 11th. The 11 represents the other side of the duality between strength and justice, because some decks they're 11, some decks they're 8, and there's always the difference of 3 between them. So it's like I don't feel, I'm not emotionally strong, even though there's healing, until I have some kind of justice. I don't want to be persecuted just because I don't act like chipper and like I'm not a day walker kind of energy. I don't want to be abused because I keep to myself and I'm shy, that kind of thing. Alright, so we're dealing with somewhat with the new moon, but also specifically with the 11th. Mars moves into Leo, the moon moves into Cancer. I'm not sure what else, but there's something that's going on in those 3 days. I don't know if there's some eclipse or something, or some like trine or square that's bringing these energies in. I don't know. Let's look at Wednesday. So mercurial energy, we have the 9th. Bunch of stuff going on with mercurial and Gemini energy. Retrograding and such. Is there anything really happening on the 9th? It's supposed to be the first day of the moon in Gemini, but that's about it. Okay. So let's look at these cards. Let's see what this one is. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Okay, so this is kind of a direct answer to what's going on Monday and Tuesday, with just sort of mental unrest and not being able to break the chain to past life or past in this life trauma type events. And then Sunday with this emotional uprooting. Notice we have a full moon on here. So this is a day before the new moon. But we're trying to head towards the full moon. It's like I don't want to be down in this darkness anymore. Right? 9 is like 9 of Wands. Like, how long do I have to do this? Like, I've been waiting forever. I also see 3 here. It makes me think of the 3 of Cups. Right? I want to celebrate releasing myself from trauma, from karmic bonds. 9 of Pentacles. all the single ladies. Right? I'm materializing the freedom for myself, and I see 3 here, and then I see 9. I see 9 here too, right? 9 is all. This is also Virgo energy, and we have Venus in Virgo. Venus is in Gemini, I believe, right? No, she's in Cancer. Never mind. She moved into Cancer on the 2nd. So Venus in Cancer, right? Venus is the Empress, and when she's pregnant, Cancerian energy, the moon, that's where we're heading. But Virgo energy can be the inner child. It can also be sort of a maturity as well. Like I'm gaining maturity, especially if this was inverted. It's not though, but it's like I'm single and things are growing for me. I'm expanding my horizons, right? I'm expanding. I have a spiral going. I'm broadening. Things are starting to go well for me. This is 3 squared 9, like, right? I'm ramping up. I'm spiraling. I'm not spiral in a downward spiral. I'm now in an upward spiral. Like I'm ascending this staircase where I can come out of this basement where the darkness of karmic debt is. Alright, so let's do this other card. Fish! There's the water. Look at this. This is that, like, this is the, like, you know when you're playing a video game and you're playing against an enemy, when their health bar gets really low, it turns red. This crescent moon is waning hard and fast because the new moon is total eclipse of the heart on the very next day. But this fish in the Lenormand is representative of abundance, right? Because it's something you can eat. Think of the ocean, how huge it is. But again, moon energy. There's an abundance. But if I look at the fish, and I think the fish is in the cup that the Queen of Cups holds. Hers has a lid on it. And then the Page of Cups also has a fish in his cup. It goes back to this idea I was talking about on Sunday with the dragon of this evolution, right? I was a worm, but now I'm a fish. I've got a backbone, right? I'm able to go further. And then also this idea of abundance. But we do have a water elemental to come in here, right? I'm releasing the contracts, and now I feel free. I'm no longer, I just heard, in this estuary, right? I'm out in the ocean. I'm no longer in captivity in the fish farm. I'm out in the river. I can go further than where I was raised. And it's working in terms of manifestation, even if what you're manifesting is maturity and emotional freedom, it has an effect on the physical body. Even if it's not like I have stuff, it's like my body is healing now too. Okay. I like that one. Okay. So we got Thursday, we have Jupiter energy here. Jupiter is in Pisces. We have the 10th, so we're hitting the new moon in Gemini on this day. Should point out too that the North Node is retrograde in Gemini, right, where that new, kind of in that same zone was the new moon, and then the South Node is Jupiter as well. And the nodes to me do give kind of a global energy. It could, like, the world energy. But we'll see what happens. And then we have 10, which is the number of the wheel, which is ruled by Jupiter, Saturn energy. Not Saturn, Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius energy and Jupiter with the wheel, number 10, major arcana. I'm still getting a little bit of 10 of Wands, because it's fire elemental, which would be Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius. they're not overly concerned about that. What the energy is like, the wheel is turning. We're no longer under this like incredible stress, right? Like if you get if you got run over by a car and it stopped right on your ankle and you had to lay there with this car on your ankle, you'd be like, oh my God, this is painful and incredible. But when the wheel turns, then the burden is no longer on you. Six of Swords inverted. To me, this is, I need to go deeper. Mercury in Aquarius. So we have, I did say Saturn was retrograde in Aquarius. So we have that aspect. But Mercury also retrograde, but in Gemini. So we have this retrograde energy saying I need to go, somehow I need to go deeper. There's something, like, I gotta go back. I forgot my hat. Peacock inverted. So we have another air elemental inverted. This peacock is coming in with blues and greens. So again, that could be Aquarius energy. It could also be Piscean. There's a lot of Piscean energy as well coming in this month. But this peacock, I'm going to leave it upright for a second. There's crown energy, third eye energy, especially because of all these, I forgot what it's called when something has spots that look like eyes. It's not oculus, it's something else that sounds like that, but I don't recall. This is an air elemental, but the peacock in this deck has to do with, there is an idea of like preening, and without going back and actually reading the book, it has something to do with, like, you've gone on a long journey, you've done something really difficult, it's sort of like being ripped open karmically, and somehow managed to come out on top, and there's this, like real like intensity and depth to a peacock energy. But it's coming out inverted. Again, when I said I forgot my hat. My hat. I'm not quite sure what that means yet. Let me see what this is. The Seas of Mintaka. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Okay, so unconsciousness, I forgot my hat. Like, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. There's energy coming in from Aquarius. This could almost be the star. It's like, I want to put my head in the sand. Like an ostrich. But it's like, by mimicking that, I'm trying to harness the light in, because it's like when I turn myself around, when I put my fancy hat on, I'm bringing in these new concepts. And I think it says unconsciousness to light. This is happening on the day of the new moon, right? We've got our head all the way down into this like manhole, right? Because I see this, for me, the Six of Swords inverted looks visually like Orpheus traveling into the underworld to get his wife or whatever, and then he forgets her. But it's like I'm going down into the, I'm going into the caves. I'm going down into Hades. I'm gonna go find out where the Phantom of the Opera is hiding out. I want another card for this, though. This is a little bit obscure. I think Mintaka is one of the stars, or in Orion, or one of the planets over there or something. I don't remember. Nine of Cups inverted. That's a nightmare card. Jupiter in Pisces. Inverted. So the retrograde isn't until the 21st, but we've got a pre-shadow here. Okay, now I have a knight, so I gotta see what that's attached to. Okay, the Knight of Wands. Another 6 inverted energy. Okay. There's a shift in cosmic consciousness that has to do with like depression. Like, I'm bothered by the status quo, and I feel like the world is against me. But in order to move past this sort of construct paradigm where people are like, you have to be like this, or you're dumb, this new consciousness has to kind of flip on. And we're in the light switch here, right? Light switch, we've turned off the computer, and the 10th, when the new moon is the off switch, and then the 11th we turn the switch back on. This is like the darkness before the dawn kind of energy. Like, I am about to align to my higher purpose, but I need to anchor. Like, I need to make sure that my grappling hook is in the darkness, is like gripped into it, so that when the light switch goes on and I go boom towards the light, I'm taking some of this darkness with me. Right? I'm uprooting some of it. I'm going to be pouring a different energy into the hole that's left by that. Alright. The 11th. So we have Venus energy. Now 11 looks like twins. We have two cards in tarot that are ruled by Venus. Or two, is it two cards? Whatever. It's two signs. Libra and Taurus. Venus is in Cancer as of this reading, and then the 11th, the moon goes into Cancer on that day, having just had the new moon in Gemini. Alright, this is Friday, Venus energy. Hopefully that made sense. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we have a knight inverted. Let's see what knight we have. Knights of the Round Table, they dance whenever they're able. Camelot, it is a silly place. And what's interesting is that Camelot means bent light. Or like a ring light. Alright, so we have the Knight of Cups with the 6. Going out to meet somebody that you knew a long time ago in an emotional manner. So we have the Phoenix. I just heard more today than yesterday. This is a spiritual element, and it should have something to do with these chakras. And I think this is supposed to be the solar chakra, but I'm reading it as the sacral chakra right now. Number 7, the Chariot. When I said for the 10th that there is a thing where it's like, this is when you shut off your computer to restart it. It was the moment of darkness. And then the 11th was going to be like switching the whole grid back on. And this is very much what this is, right? Rising from my own ashes. Right? Flip the kill switch. Alright, now flip it back on. It's like in Rocky Horror when they're flipping on the switches to turn Rocky on. I'm going back to rekindle something. This is inverted though. The knight is inverted, but the cup is upright. I don't want to face you yet. Ooh. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Okay. So the Knight of Cups. Okay, if I go back to see somebody once I have this new energy in me, are they gonna be mad if I'm not the same way that I was? This could be family, it could be a romantic partner, it could be just anybody you know, right? It's like, It's making me think of this new Cruella de Vil movie. It's like if I go in and I'm dressed completely different, are they gonna hate me? And I do think I want to get one more card for this. One of these. This is like I've changed my energy, but I'm hiding it because I don't want, like I'm afraid to move. Like I don't know if the time is right. There's a little, I mean, a Knight Inverted tells me Hanged Man, which is Neptunian energy. And retrograde in Pisces, we're going to have 2 planets retrograde in Pisces, but not till the end of the month. Mercury might be retrograde in Pisces, but I might have written it down wrong, so I'm not sure. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light, right? I don't want them to see me all zhuzhed up. What if they think I'm an asshole? Imrama, what are you being called to journey to? Or where? Right? Well, I'm gonna go talk to this person that I knew before and, you know, turn it out. I know that's where I'm being called, but I'm, you know, pulling at the bridle and telling the horse not to go. So we have the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen, right? Like, oh my God, what if I'm afraid to be seen like this. And then we have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. It's like they're used to seeing me down and out. If I come out and I'm like, ta-da! Like, am I not going to have any friends left? Like, if I reveal my true nature as evolved during this really intense astrological time, are people going to try to pour water on me and put me out? There's a little bit of fear involved there. But again, it's like you're sort of like holding court with the past a little bit. You know, we want the Knight to be upright and the 6 of Cups to be inverted so that we can no longer romanticize the past. Like, well, were you really happy when you were not in alignment in any of these ways? No, then why are you better off that way? And whoever needs to go and announce their, like, do this big reveal to someone to sort of prove that they've moved beyond their karmic debts, it's like, why are you letting people who haven't moved on dictate what's right for you? You know, like, now that you've moved on, you can't be afraid to be yourself. This message needs to be heard so that the consciousness can shift. And if they don't accept it, then do you really want these people in your life anyway? So we're on Saturday here, the 12th. I'm thinking of like a gross, like 144, like 12 dozen. So we have Saturn, which is retrograde in Aquarius. Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July. Can't remember what that song is right now. It's from the 70s, I think. So we have the black egg. This is related to a chakra too, but again, I don't remember which one it was, and I feel like it wants to be the throat chakra right now, and I don't know if that's right in the book or not, but we're gonna go with, right now, throat chakra. Look at the back of that. I really like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have number 8, strength and or justice, and we have an egg. So I'm thinking 8 as in terms of infinity, which I do sometimes because I have this great egg here, right? We have, oh, see, look at this pattern. This is like the flower of life, and if you take it up to like 144, you get almost this kind of diamond pattern on it. There was a crop circle that was like 144 things that this is making me think of. So we have spirit element. There is some purple energy here. It's making me think of the flavor black cherry. It's kind of like in the point in the Kundalini energy where the crown energy starts moving back down towards the root. So this is almost like waiting for a response. And also, this makes me think of that egg in that Harry Potter movie where they had to put it under water in order to open it to hear the message, because otherwise it just sounded like ear-piercing screaming. Right? So it's like there has to be an open-heartedness to hear the response coming back once the energy is set outwards. Right? And what is 8? Right? There's 8 letters here. That 8 is an infinite loop. There's a feedback loop, right? The energy has to come back down. Right? So you send the energy out, and then you get information back from the universe, right? You're getting, you put something out, you get something back. It's a feedback loop. Right? Let's run the experiment. Okay, let's wait for the feedback, and okay, now I understood what happened. Blah, blah, blah. But there's also this idea of something's about to happen. Something's about to drop. Something is about to be cracked open. But it's going to happen through a communication. Again, one that is like you have to wait for the response, right? I'm sending out the Morse code, beep, 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 right? And now I have to like wait on the radar for the ping to come back, or, you know, I'm mixing the metaphors, but you get the idea. I'm waiting for the beep, 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 beep to come back. Okay, so when I flip this over, this is a 0. Now I had decided that the zeros this is when it's dirty, it's got like food stains on it from 20 years ago. These are 10s, right? Because there's 1 through 9, and then there's 0. And then there's the writing cards. So this is the 10 of Pentacles inverted. But the way that it's coming in is a 0, goose egg, donut. Alright, it's like the Fool. We get a completion, we're starting over. But this is the 10 of Pentacles inverted. Right? It's the message is about to come in. It hasn't manifested yet. Like, I sense that it's coming. Like, I feel it in my bones, but it's not manifesting yet. There's the order hasn't been fulfilled. Lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Right? It's like, I know it's coming because I sent it to the right IP address. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? Aquatic Ruin Zone in Sonic 2. Specifically this. Where Sonic has to, if you don't get an air bubble in time, he dies, and it has a countdown, and when he finally gets a bubble, he makes this really funny noise, and he's like, oh, ah! Love that. I got tingles from that sound, too. It's so funny. Aquatic Ruin Zone. Okay, this one apparently wants to be in the challenged position. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. This is the grid. This is the network. Right? I sent my message in, and I'm waiting to hear back. I've got my radio on. When is the thing gonna light up and get me a message? But the idea is that you don't have to worry that the message is coming, because it's going to. Right? You know that this grid works. It's like I'm having, part of the thing too is like I'm having I'm connecting with someone else in the 5D. We have a psychic connection, but I haven't heard from them in real life, and it's making me start to think that I'm making it up. It's not manifesting. I'm faking it. I'm not intuitive. I'm full of crap. I suck, right? It's turning the throat chakra against you, and you feel like you can't express yourself. I'm waiting for my goddamn feedback. So, let's get a little bit more information. 2 of Wands in the challenge position. Oh God. Okay. I think these are all kind of in the challenge position too. So the Ace of Cups, although these are going the other way. 8 of Swords. It's like schools of fish passing here. 8 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay? I want to get out of this mental prison of feeling like nobody's ever coming. I'm just holding on for that message, even though I'm trying to wait patiently on universal timing for things to come into reality. But like, I have my heart set on this, and I don't want to have to choose something else. It's like a stalemate, but it's coming in on the 12th, which is the Hangman energy. I'm waiting for these universal downloads. So what's the point of this? Like, why? Like, why the wait? Why the long face? What is the Capricornian retrograding and Aquarius energy doing? Again, there's also a lot of Piscean energy here. There's like an interlude between the collective consciousness and the subconscious. The collective unconscious. Like, I'm afraid to respond back to the message. You got the Love, Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Answer the call inverted. What is your soul calling you to do? Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. Okay, so this is the information that's coming back from the person that, or thing, that you're waiting for your response from, right? You sent out your psychic message. You're like, please to come in real life, manifest something, response. And they're like, and you're like, what the hell? They're not answering the call. They're still working on codependency and boundary issues, whether that's related to you or to their own past stuff. But this waiting for cosmic downloads, there's like your guides and their guides are like, we know you guys are talking to each other in these higher dimensional realms. We're gonna give you a little push. So there's a little bit of a stalemate, but it's mostly it's sort of like waiting for them to get that eureka moment where they suddenly realize that they haven't checked their email in 6 months, and they were like late responding back, and they're like, sorry, it wasn't against you, even though in some way energetically it might be. It's like everybody's coming to the same energetic point. It's slightly off rhythm, right? There's like an interference pattern. It's like you have to wait for your people to talk to their people, and then their people to talk to your people, and once that's established, even though you're talking psychically, it has to go back and forth between like 6 other people before they finally come and respond to you directly, energetically, which is kind of frustrating. But Hangman energy, Saturn energy, you're just going to have to wait. It's like, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. And that might not be what you want to hear, but there's a lot going on under the surface. You know that this call system works. You just have to trust that it will. And once you trust that inner knowing that the communication system works, then you do have to wait for that little egg to finally come in, right? Like, they're still screaming into the air. They need to get into their emotions before this message can come back. Alright. So that's what's there. A lot of extra cards this week because I needed to. There's some timelines that are finally starting to solidify a little more. Some timelines are still kind of vague. Alright, let me move the camera. Hold on to your lunch. If you want to get a personal reading, let me get my sign in focus and get Kitty up there. The camera's kind of toasty too. If you'd like to get a personal reading, the complete list of readings I have and how much they cost is down in the description box underneath here. If you'd like to help keep my channel running, you can donate. That's PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And that's energy exchange, tip jar, donations. If you'd like to get something that you can hold on to for throwing money at me, I've got coloring books, dark poetry, merch, prints, actual art items. A lot of that's going to be psychedelic in nature. Some of it's sort of fashion-y, portraits, animals, mythological creatures, and so on. I think that's it. I've got some social media. You can email me there. All of this is through the link tree. If you go through the link tree, that Etsy coupon code should pop in. It's 3*17. You get 17% off if you buy 3 or more items. And again, some of that's really cheap stuff, like the chapbook packs, which are just a few bucks a piece. So get 3 of them, you get a discount. I think that's it now. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.